3, 2. We're on it. What does Freddie do?
What?
Freddie from iCarly.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I know. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Keith,
And I'm his brother Mason.
and this is the And His Brother podcast. Right now, we're shooting from Santa Monica location of Cafe Ruisseau. If you guys ever get the chance to come through, the owner is very handsome. No, but he's a super. I mean, he is. But he's also a super good dude. The coffee is great. If you come in the summer, I'm working, so the barista will be super handsome.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyways,
Good food, great coffee, immaculate vibes, as you can see. But yeah, we just kind of wanted to reintroduce ourselves, bring ourselves back into it.
Our new selves.
Talk about, briefly where we've been, where we're up to now, just how life is going, because a lot's happened since the last time we recorded.
Lots changed.
It's been about at least a year since we've recorded something, put some things out since that we just had previously recorded, but I just want to take some time and let you guys know what's been going on. So, how have you been?
Tired, man.
And that's it. All right, we've been tired.
No, honestly, yeah, I've been exhausted. A little itty bitty update is I had a child, so NBD.
Whole father.
I'm a whole father right now, which is crazy because I'm so young.
They just let anybody do it now.
But it's obviously exhausting, and I feel like I don't even do half the work. But even last night, I think there was 4 or 5 wake ups between 10 and 6, and then you just go to work.
And you just pull up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've been tired. I feel like I've also been pretty motivated, and we'll get into that when we talk about what we're up to and learning. But yeah, those are my main 2. What about you?
Yeah, I think busy just kind of sums it up, but not in necessarily an overwhelmed way. I feel like I've been striving for a lot of things, and just personally, in work, in my careers, just relationally, and that has just kept me very busy. But it is all towards things that are very worthwhile and things that I care deeply about. So a lot of fulfillment in that. But yeah, just working 2-3 jobs, teaching, traveling a lot, especially recently. Hitting a couple different continents, and my fault. Some of us do that.
I went to Oxnard, an hour away.
When you don't have kids, you can chill. No,
the original plan for this summer, honestly, was to go to Italy. And then I was like,
instead, we're at the cribbo.
Instead, we're in Santa Monica.
I think, depending on the last time we recorded, I got engaged. I got engaged.
I was don't know when you got engaged. I was like 7 to 12 months ago.
Got engaged on November 17th, 2024. Right in that range. 7
to 12.
7 to 12 months. Which was phenomenal. And, planning and prepping for a wedding now. My
a bachelor party. I'm planning that.
He's planning that. We're planning it.
You're all invited.
And if you click the link down below, you'll get
You're invited.
Don't pull up. But yeah, so just lots of new chapters opening up, trying to, like you said, feel for the most part very motivated. Yeah, been rocking with life lately.
That's
a lot of family. I moved to be closer to home, as close to home as you can be. And
inside it.
and inside it, actually. Yeah, been around the family a lot more. It's been really, really cool. Yeah, man. That's what's been life recently.
Cool.
Excited to kind of get this picked back up. Obviously, with a lot of that life we've been living, this hasn't always been at the forefront, but it's always been something on our minds. It just hasn't always been at the forefront. It's raise your kid, podcast, it goes back and forth.
It does.
Today we're here. Today we picked the podcast. So I'm really grateful. Really grateful to get back into it. Get your favorite brothers back at it.
Just tell me. What have you learned in the last year? What have you learned most?
Yeah. I have learned that when you're working towards something...
I'm so sorry.
What?
I said
when you're working towards something, just kind of stay on that that line of just busyness that you just might not ever feel completely settled. I feel like I kind of have been chasing this illusion of like, oh, like once I hit this mark, I'll have like regular time frames and like a regular schedule and all this stuff. But
you are like, I feel like you've said that a couple times. Like,
yeah.
After this happens, I said one time to Becca, because you texted me that, and I was just like, this is like the 9th time he's texted me in a different season.
Life doesn't settle. And there are obviously moments you can find it in and all of that. But I think especially in just like the avenues I'm pursuing and like the nonprofit world and like teaching, like there's just, I'm never really going to have like a 9 to 5 that's like you're going to show up to this building every day for the next 30 years and that's what it's going to be. And I'm grateful for that. But I think just like being in school your whole life where it's like, yeah, you just show up to this place same time every day, get your work done, then you go home.
It also makes, I know for me, like coming out of college, like one thing I actually started missing was like, I started seeing my friends less because like with class schedules, it's like Tuesdays and Thursdays, I can see you between 12 and 4. And you know, like it's so consistent. Yeah. And now it's just like, all right, well, I kind of booked this thing and this person has this birthday party and this is it. And there's like 9 things happening at any given time. And also you're tired and
Yeah. No, so definitely. I think I've been, you know, I'm like 2 years out of grad school and I just, you know, you go K through 12 and then straight into undergrad, straight into grad school. And so I was just like always in that routine for that, I don't know, 20 years, something like that. Maybe a little, I don't know how long, but a long time. And I think I was still kind of like chasing like, oh, once I get back to that, I'll get in a rhythm and the gym will be consistent and this will be consistent, but it's not always how it goes, you know? It's more consistent for others. But yeah, so I think I'm just learning that, yeah, life's not always going to be super structured and super settled down, but there's still ways to rest. There's still ways to grind. There's still ways to make time for other people within all of that. And it just takes a lot of intention.
Yeah.
What have you learned / been learning?
I have learned that reliance on others takes many different forms. I think, which like is something I feel like I've talked about even on this. Like in a lot of ways, I think younger, like it was really hard, like not really hard. I wouldn't ask for help. Like I was like, I'll figure it out or I'll fail. And those are the 2 options. And now I think there's a lot of reliance, like, you know, I ask our parents when I'm exhausted to like watch the kid or I don't know, like even like reaching out to like work at Cafe Ruisseau. Like I knew I wanted a summer job and I like felt weird, like reaching out to people who are my friends and be like, hey, can I work with you? You know, like it just, I think I'm learning what kind of forms it can take. I'm learning I'm bad at it, which probably shocks nobody.
It's a skill for sure.
Yeah, and like I think I'm good at asking like our parents. Like I'm like, they like spending time with him, so that's easy. Like, oh, you guys are having more fun than I am. Cool. Here, you know, like that's. But so that feels less and less reliant as time goes on. But I think for me, it's I think there's a degree of vulnerability that I'm not accustomed to. I think I'm so used to trying, especially for the family, like being the person that people can rely upon. Like in college, I felt like I was kind of like that with my friends. Yeah, for sure. I feel like I was like that with like our siblings and even like our parents. Like last year, like I felt like like I feel like a lot of time I'm like a sounding board, and so now it's kind of like been inverted the last couple months of like I have to ask for help, and I hate it. Yeah,
it's fun. It's interesting being on that side of the village now. I don't like you're usually the village that like pulls up. When
I feel like I'm giving nobody anything ever.
Really.
Right now,
you give a whole lot of your time.
I don't think so. Like, I think like, I don't know. Like when I first moved back, especially like I was at like our sister's houses like 2-3 days a week. Yeah. Trying to help with the kids and this, and now it's like, I'll literally like text like I'll see you when I see you. Like, and they're closer to me physically. Like they're 10 minutes down the street, you know? Yeah. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just different. Like asking for help from like friends. Yeah. Like, you know, I think it's necessary. And I do, like, part of what I tell myself is, like, to be a part of the village, you have to ask too, right? You can't just, like, donate. It doesn't work systematically. Yeah. So I remind myself that.
It's unrealistic, too.
Yeah. And some of these people, like, I like helping you guys. And I like helping my friends. So I have to, like, remind myself, like, some of my friends like helping me too. Not Nate, who's in episode 7 or something. But we love him. And that's not even fully true. But, yeah, I think that's what I've, like, learned in my last year is how difficult it is for me to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because I think I would have said like, no, I can ask if I need it, and I just never felt like I needed it.
Yeah.
And now that I like am closer to needing it, like I don't even like saying like I need it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's helpful. I like
if you could.
Yeah, I guess if you want. Leading into our next, which is what I learned about myself, besides the vulnerability, I've learned I'm still a very angry person. Which, like, for some of the viewers, that might not be shocking. There's not that many viewers, so maybe all of them. But like growing, maybe all 9 of you, you know. But I think like growing up, like I was a very angry kid. Like even in college, like if I was drinking and you looked at me wrong, like I was ready to fight. If I was on a sports field, I headbutted somebody once who had a helmet on and I didn't. Like just like I was a crazy person.
You were definitely a threat.
Yeah, thank you. That's a nice way to say it. But also, like, I kicked a teammate in the head once because he took me down, and I was mad about it. I just got up and kicked him and kept walking. And when he like said something, I was like, "You have a helmet, you're fine." Like that was like, I was like, "Ugh." And that like died down a lot. I think in the last like probably
grown a lot
26,
since that.
Which I've definitely like learned to accept myself and my failures and whatever, and all that contributed to it. But like I've learned, especially like when I'm tired, I'm like I feel like that anger towards people creep out, like individuals, towards like people as a concept, like towards like society. Like I'll get mad at like the government or like my job or like whatever. But like like there's always a discontentment, I think, especially given the world. But that level of anger that I felt, I'd say in the last like 6 months to a year, I don't think I'd felt for like a few years. Yeah. So part of me thought like that part had died or I defeated it. And I'm like, oh, like if I'm not careful, like that mess can return. Like there's been times in traffic where I'm like, I can follow this dude home. And I'm like, and you like I don't. But like like my thought is like I'm like it happens.
Yeah.
And it didn't for so long.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think that's like the biggest thing I've learned about myself this year is like a lot of my anger exists. We'll say like my weaknesses, because I'm sure there's more, but a lot of my like anger still exists. I can still feel all emotions. Apparently, yeah, you know,
it's a good thing.
I think I do think a righteous anger has its place. Like I will say, I do agree with that, but it's, you know.
But I think even if it's not righteous, like following someone home, don't do that. The awareness of it can illuminate things for yourself. Mm-hmm. And that in itself can be helpful.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that.
Yeah. But we're not an anger shaming podcast. It's okay to be angry.
It's important to be angry, I think sometimes.
God got angry.
God got angry. Malcolm X got angry.
It's true.
But yeah, that's what I've learned about myself.
You God and Malcolm X.
Me, God, and Malcolm X, the Holy Trinity. We're all black. But what's something you would say you've learned about yourself specifically this year?
I think something I've learned about myself is that I am not as disciplined as I thought I was. And that is not to say that I'm not disciplined. But I think
you're more disciplined than the average, but I get you.
But I feel like Keith was angry. I was a people pleaser. I am a people pleaser. Just like you are angry.
Hey.
Hey. They currently exist. Try to flip the marble table. It's hard. Shout out Cafe Ruisseau.
Shout out that one time this didn't happen. Dad tried to kick a chair at a game that he was
and it was like attached to all the other chairs?
No, it was just so heavy. And I watched him kick it. It went like, and he limped away. And I was like, oh, that's embarrassing.
He's a strong guy. Yeah. So that says a lot. Sorry, Dad.
I've never kicked a chair.
I haven't had a chair to kick, so I can't say that I wouldn't.
You have a seat at my table. All right, sorry, keep going.
No, but I think I was really good at being disciplined when I had eyes on me. When like I was on a team, and obviously we had like a coach and teammates, and like there was people to let down.
Competition, there's
competition. I was like, oh, like I need to be good, so I will be. Oh, like I want to get certain grades because I know I want to apply for grad school, so I will be good. Right. And I have like a research advisor that has a lot of faith in me, so I will be good. Which those aren't bad motivators by any sense.
No.
But now that I'm not an athlete and I'm not in school and I have obviously work to do and I have still people that are relying on me, but I'm in charge in a lot of those spaces.
Yeah.
And I don't have...
Well, the reliance is probably less direct or less obvious, maybe.
Yeah, like the feedback isn't as
like immediate.
Yeah. So like obviously in school, it's like you do the assignment, you get it back, you're like, cool, like I know what I did.
Right. There's no great play, tap on the button, move on. Like
and I think sometimes I fall into a little bit of like, you know, obviously like part of what I do is coaching, and winning is important. It is important. But we've talked a lot this year about like in our organization about like you can have unsuccessful wins if like your team had bad attitudes and it didn't have good sportsmanship and maybe you flew off the wall a little bit. Like that can take away from the win. Versus you can have like successful losses where like you can lose the game, but your team overcame something. Maybe they overcame, you know, they started to come back and they're going to gain momentum going to the second game. So I think, I promise in my head this all ties together. If it doesn't, I'm really sorry. But I think there's been times where I'm like, oh, like I haven't always pushed myself to be as good as I can be. And I think part of that might be because, you know, if I can just do the bare minimum or a little bit more and still be successful and like meet that bottom line, like I'm good.
Yeah.
But sometimes at the end of the day, I've still been like, oh no, I could have been great at that. And so I'm really trying to push against that. I think even just when it's really easy for me to think about physically. I'm like, you know, I still like lift and I exercise and I'm on my feet, but I'm like the most that I've ever weighed. And
same.
And like my body is like changing as I'm getting older. Puberty. Apparently that still happens. It's really weird. Because
you're like, no, you're at that, it's like loosely like a second puberty. Yeah, weird.
And I'm like, oh man, I'm holding weight like crazy. I'm still, you know, I'm still fit. But
literally,
but I'm just like, oh, like I need more discipline to like kind of get to the space I want to be in. But like if I don't, there's no immediate consequence.
Right.
Like
nobody's gonna.
It was easy when I was in college football because like, oh, I'll just be slower. Or I'll just be weaker.
Yeah.
And you could tell that immediately. This is like,
you will be slower and you will be weaker.
I will be slower and weaker,
who
but
cares?
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Just same thing in work. Like sometimes I feel like I could have been more diligent when I'm like grading papers. And maybe I was just like, oh, this is taking a long time. So I'll still give like decent feedback, but maybe not as much depth as I could have.
Yeah.
When I'm coaching my kids, I found that when I get overstimulated or there's a lot going on, that I will respond maybe immaturely to kids. And so I'm not being as disciplined how I talk to people, how I talk to like the children that I'm trying to impact positively, just because I get frustrated. I might lash out. I had one comment on my player feedback that I need to stop crashing out. One comment from all my players, but it was
I know who it was from.
It was an important player. And I was like, he knows. Most of the team knows. A few of them know. I was like, they know. But that I didn't take that lightly. I was like, oh, that's not something I would have thought of. Something I needed to work on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just realized that I can push myself harder, and there are definitely some certain situations where I should. That was a long-winded answer. But.
No, it's real though. I feel like I've been in similar spaces. I think, especially with like teaching, like there's definitely a degree of spontaneity. Right? Here's the lesson. Here's what we're gonna do. But like, there's definitely ways I think I could do them better, especially if they're lessons I've done before. Like, I could adjust. I could have different kinds of conversations. I could prep differently or better, or drag things out or make things more concise. And like sometimes when I'm lazy or tired or I've had a rough night or a rough week, or I just don't.
Yeah.
And then I look back and I'm like, oh, the kids are getting less because I'm giving less. Like but there's no like real consequence. Like I'm gonna keep my job. I'm a good educator.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever. Like my boss likes me. Yeah. The district kind of likes me.
They need you.
We need black male teachers, you know? So no, I especially, I think in the workspace as adults, like most of you guys who watch this are definitely like, I think teenagers and or friends. But like, I think that is like the workspace. Like as you guys get older, or if you're friends, like you've probably experienced this, like once you hit the career realm, the work realm, whatever, there's a lot less pull for you to be really good at what you're doing. And it's so easy. And then I feel like you lose a passion. Like then you get bored in what you're doing because you're not working hard towards something, but like you don't always like connect it. Like I feel like that's where some like depression can come from in like a workplace, is like if you're not progressing towards something, it is insignificant.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something like work, like you work so much that now just work feels insignificant. The works of your hands, and therefore your life, and which it isn't, but it can feel that way, I think.
No, absolutely. And I think
that was heavier than I meant it to be.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of flows kind of to the next thing of just like what is something difficult you had to overcome this year / like what's something you're working on through.
I think I'll touch on what I originally planned for overcome shorter, and I'm probably gonna go into that. Yeah, whatever. Something difficult I think I've had to overcome is what my life looks like. Love my son. Did not plan for my son. And it presents like a kind of like a hiccup, like I definitely had a plan of like where my career is going, and it still exists to some degree, but I've definitely had to read, whether or not I'm going back to school, whether or not I'm moving states in a few years, like all this stuff. And it's obviously like a huge wrench of like, oh, like I can't just move to whatever state I want because the education system matters now, like that I go to. Like it's, like a thing I wouldn't necessarily have to consider. I have to consider way more heavily. Like if I'm a little broke, I'm a little broke. If I'm a little broke now, I'm not the only one. So I think managing, what my expectations for my life look like. I enjoy so many aspects of my life still. But there's definitely, I think, when you're fresh out of college, even when you're in college, you're like, this is what I plan on doing at this age. Then when you're fresh out, right, that didn't go according to plan, but I can do this. And now I'm just like, yo, man, I'm pushing 30. Like there's a lot less big ambitions of like greatness per se. And not that I don't think I can be a great individual, but like,
Just looks different.
I think it looks different. I think my values have changed, thank God. But something I'm working on, I think, through, and this is kind of like when I touched earlier, like how have I been? Like I've been very motivated. Right now, I think I'm working on educating myself a lot. On Black history, which is really American history. I'm trying to be more intentional on taking in what's going on in the world. I definitely took a step back, which I don't like when other people do, but I was like, I had a kid. I can do what I want, Like my attention, emotions have to go somewhere else. But I'm trying now to clock back into what's going on in the world, how we got here, like really historically over the last like 120, 150 years.
Like post-Civil War.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, pre-Civil War, I feel like I have a decent education, honestly. But so I've been reading a lot more. I've been reading more intentionally. Like I was reading novels, and now I'm reading more thoughts. And just, I've been trying to like identify patterns. And part of why is I feel like full transparency, I think I'm relatively smart. I don't think I'm a genius, but I think I'm relatively smart.
It's very smart.
I think I have the time to read and understand and produce. And so it felt like it was a disservice to like people who watch this podcast, friends and family, my kid now. Like it felt like I was not doing right by people if I was just like going through the motions of my life. And I enjoy my life, but it's like and I think I can still enjoy my life, but I'm like, because I am able to integrate thoughts and articulate them to different peoples, I think I'm very patient. Like I've dealt with enough racists and stuff like that patiently and had educating conversations. Which a lot of people, it's nobody's responsibility to do that. It's not your responsibility to do that.
Sure.
But I think if nobody does that, we're not having conversations. And I think I'm good at that role. So I felt like I was doing a disservice to like people. So something I've been working on a lot, that is like part of what motivated me to get back into even like the podcast. So is just like doing that, educating myself and articulating that education. Which brings me to something nobody knows about. I know about it, obviously. I forgot to tell you about it. But I'll probably be doing like a little, like, I'm going to call it like Keith's Book Club, where I basically just break down what I'm reading.
He reads a lot.
Like every day.
Stack of like 3 books right there.
There's 7 more on my table at home, which I'm not reading through all of them at the moment. But where I will like break down in probably like 5-minute segments of just like first 40 pages of this book talk about this. So if you don't necessarily want to read the book, don't, but you can hear it. Or if you're interested in reading the book, then you can space out how you read it and kind of hear my thoughts on it. And I'm working on our website, and I'll probably have a discussion board as well. So this is new to all of you, but a discussion board space. So if you are someone who reads with it or want to comment something stupid, some of you guys are middle schoolers, I love you, but kids are dumb.
Free will.
I will remove comments, but then we can have a discussion in that space as well. So I'll probably do a couple of those videos, not crazy often, maybe like once a week. I'm not gonna start posting them until I've recorded like 10. Obviously this is illegal and I would never suggest it, but if you happen to look up those titles with the word PDF after and found one for free, who's to stop you?
We won't.
I'm not a cop. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on, is like, I think really intentionally educating myself so that I can have those conversations and educate others. I got lazy and like, the world's not gonna change, why would I do this? And it's like, that's not fair to the parts of the world that I can change.
Yeah.
What about you? What's something you've overcome and or are working through?
I think something, I wasn't sure about overcome. I think I actually left that blank in
That's
my
fair.
notes.
You've overcome nothing. You've had a busy, honestly, I mean,
I've overcome nothing. I don't know. I've overcome feels like done.
fair.
Like it's been finished.
Fair.
And so I don't necessarily feel like I've overcome something just off the top of my head. But there's a lot of things that I'm working on, just still kind of on the tail ends of like physical therapy.
Yeah, physically.
For like my knee and my back.
Damn. I'm sorry.
I'm old. And as well as like emotional therapy, trying to be the best partner I can be, trying to be the best son and uncle and sibling and all of those things that I can be. So those are definitely things I'm working on. One thing that I'm trying to be really intentional on actually is listening. I was going to say shutting up and listening, but I still talk a lot, but I'm a yapper. As the kids say, I am quite loquacious,
Wow.
if you will.
Verbose.
Yes.
You're one of them articulate ones. I'm so sorry.
It's true. So I think just taking more time to listen, especially in like relationally when I'm with friends. Obviously there's time for like just talking and banter and all this stuff, but really trying to deepen a lot of my relationships. My fiance is incredibly talented and just caring and understanding when it comes to developing relationships. She's super intentional. She's just really good at finding depth really quickly. And it's something I admire a lot. I'm not as adept at that, but and a lot of it has to do with her ability to listen, her ability to sit in spaces and listen. So that's something I'm working on as I've been just like golfing with my friends more, or like grabbing lunch, is like sitting back. The other thing is at work, especially, I have so many great people right in front of my face doing the same job that I do, or maybe slightly higher, and they're so incredibly good at what they do. And I just realized like I have not been paying close enough attention. And so I've even just sat.
Shout out Alicia.
For real, like shout out Alicia, shout out Kelsey, Keith, the senior PDs. I've literally just found myself like, oh, like they're having a conversation like about work or just about whatever it is. I'm just gonna go sit near them and just like listen. As not like not something private. I'm not like eavesdropping but I'll just go like sit at the table while they're like talking about an event that's coming up. Like how are they discussing it?
How they
what process are they going through? Because those are people that are like killing it organization wide in our job. And I would also like to be doing that. I want to reach a certain level that I feel like these people have achieved. And a great way to get there is to just listen. So that's something I am working on, I feel like. I don't know what I'm doing, but I am working on it.
That makes sense. It's important. It makes me think about like, like if your last name was Smith, it means like at some point historically you were probably like a blacksmith.
Yeah.
And your family was blacksmiths. Like it makes me think about how like historically like jobs weren't as specialized. So like you were almost always taught by somebody how to do your job. And nowadays it's a lot less, like there's trainings and stuff expected, but like you're not sitting with the person who's best at it.
Yeah.
And they're not saying, hey, this is what I do that makes me best at it. They're just like, here's what the job description is. Here's what you need to know how to do. Basically.
Yeah. There's no like apprenticeship. There's no. Yeah.
So it's interesting because I think we need that.
Yeah. And it is, it can be exhausting. Like that takes time, which is why.
Yeah. It takes extra energy.
Which
effort.
in this world that's so fast paced.
Efficient.
Yeah. It doesn't always
It's not optimal.
Yeah, it is not optimal, but when you can find that time, when you can find that space to do so, I highly encourage
it. It makes people better.
Makes
people better people. Because I think as a leader, you have to reflect.
Yeah. Even like I think back, because we used to coach together with our dad, and just being around him, who was a coach basically our whole lives.
Yeah.
And there were definitely a lot of things I paid really close attention to, and there were other times I'm like, I probably wasn't paying as close attention. And now that I'm like running my own program that you still help out a ton with, I'm finding that you do.
Thanks.
Yeah. You had a very big part.
That's fair.
You had a very big part.
In the last few months, I haven't helped out a ton, which is why
he had a kid, so he hasn't been here. But like all last summer
I was very
and fall,
yeah, you're right.
You were employed by us.
Hurt my taxes.
And working under me. Sorry. I really hurt my taxes.
Put me into the next bracket. All right, whatever. That doesn't matter.
That's another conversation. Yeah. If you feel like you're being taxed and not represented, I
got some books for you.
There's a story about that. But yeah, like there are times I wish I was paying a little bit more attention, and I don't want to feel that way. So I want to take advantage of the great minds that are around me and in front of me and behind me, and even just something, I don't know, I was talking to somebody about it, where there was this little bit of humility I felt from our dad when I was reflecting that, again, our dad has coached very successfully in multiple sports throughout our lives.
40 years, give or take?
Yeah, honestly. And for sure, our entire lives.
No, he was coaching like in college. Like it's legit like 40-ish years.
And he will come to my games and come support my team. And he has a wealth of knowledge, not even necessarily on lacrosse specifically, but just in coaching in general.
Yeah.
But he will just step back and let me coach. Like, he doesn't feel like he needs to say anything. He doesn't feel like he needs to, pull me aside or like, hey, like, I think I would do it like this way. And he's coached successful lacrosse teams, but he has been like, oh, do you need me to go refill the water? He doesn't even ask. He'll just go like, I'll just go refill the waters.
Yeah.
Coach with like 40 years of experience, he's like, I'll just go refill the waters. One of my first games coaching like 2 years ago, half my team didn't have mouthpieces and we're like at the field and I'm like, I need like 10 mouthpieces. Goes, gets them, pulls up, and just like, again, has this wealth of knowledge that he could just, be giving to me and I couldn't really say anything about it, but he'll definitely give it to me upon like request, and like we've had more private conversations where we'll talk about it, but I've just appreciated his presence and his support in that way.
Yeah.
Where he'll just kind of sit back and support. So that's just something I learned from observing and just something I've learned from
the significance of just being even like the support role. Like, those games aren't happening without water and mouthpieces.
Yeah, like
it's not the job most people want.
Yeah.
But he knows probably through his experiences, like if the little things don't get done, the big things aren't happening.
Yeah.
Fundamentals.
Always, but yeah.
It is interesting.
So that's just, again, just another thing I've just kind of been learning. But yeah, it's been a season. It's been a season, for sure.
Speaking of season 2, no, I'm just kidding. Cool. I mean, that's all I got for now.
Yeah, same here.
Thanks for tuning in. Send this to your friends, or don't. I'm not your dad, but I'm a dad.
I'm not a stepfather, but I'm a father that stepped.
All right. That's the end of this episode. Thank you guys for coming. Again, I'm Keith. I'm Keith.
And I'm his brother Mason. This is the End of His Brother podcast.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Good Lord. I was like, what's this called?
And I'm yum.